Hey guys, thanks for watching my YouTube video. I'm recording 5 stories today. If you like my content, don't forget to like and subscribe and enjoy the video. My friend and I were searching for the perfect camping spot for about a year. After trying out quite a few, we found one that seemed perfect. It was about half-hour walk from any trail or road and on top of a large cliff over a river. We got camp set up and decided to scout out around the area. It was getting dark, so we started heading back, following the sound of the river to guide us, when we spotted something, a shack. We stopped and looked at each other, and decided we better investigate it. It is pretty close to where we are going to be sleeping, and this is weird. We get closer and realize it is basically a teepee made from scraps of aluminum and other sheet metal and a tarp. There is an inflated air mattress inside, and wine and whiskey bottles everywhere. There was also porn and a lot of extremely weird objects that someone normally would not have out camping. This place is a couple hours from any town, and like I said, at least a half hour from any road or trail. There were no vehicles parked anywhere even remotely close, because we would have seen them in our travels. We came to the conclusion that whoever had been here must have left, and they obviously did not want to be found. Then, on our way out, I noticed a campfire was still smoldering. We got the fuck out of there, immediately packed up camp, and blindly made our way back to the road. Fuck that. I've watched enough horror movies to know that us teenage white boys would not be waking up that morning. Was hiking along the north shore of Lake Superior in Minnesota. If you've never been, it's really thick, old growth forest. There's a 360-mile hiking trail from Duluth to the Canadian border. Really well-developed campsites, and enough traffic that I wouldn't feel unsafe on it anywhere. For this particular trip, we, my hiking buddy and I, wanted to turn it into a loop instead of an out and back on the same trail. Scoped out a section that's connected with some back roads and a snowmobile trail that would work as our loop. As we're hiking on one of the dirt back roads, we see a random dirt biker approach us, stop maybe 100 yards back, and stare for a while. Kinda unnerving with him just staring at us for a while, but he eventually turned and left. We eventually get to a log shelter on the snowmobile trail that we planned as campsite 1. Nice relaxing campsite, and go to bed. Woke up in the middle of the night, full moon, and I swore there were 2 moonlit silhouettes standing on either side of the tent. Not sure if I dreamt or if it was real, but freaky as fuck. Remember just staying as still or silent as possible for as long as possible. I was out camping one night by myself and started hearing voices. I was playing music and it was around 2 in the morning. My grandma's house was about 2 miles down the river, and I thought it might have been my grandpa. So I turned off my music so I could tell back, but I heard a dog, and my grandma or grandpa don't have dogs. Then I heard someone say the noise was this way. This genuinely freaked me out, so I climbed one of the pine trees and sat up there. About 5 to 7 minutes later, I saw a flashlight in the distance and saw 2 people walking up. They were both men, and there was, I believe, a husky German hybrid with them. They ransacked my camp, and I swear they should have noticed me because they shined the lights around and passed right by me. After they left, I started to walk home because, fuck that shit. I heard 2 loud bangs, sounded like a rifle, and I booked it when I got home. I stood on the porch for a second and saw their lights at the edge of the woods. I can assure you that I will never camp alone again. It wasn't even hunting season, so they shouldn't have even been out with a gun. And if they were, it should have been at least a handgun, not a rifle. But I'm still not sure what kind of gun it was. I hate dark forests now though, and I got hella bad paranoia from this. We were camping at Long Beach, Washington for the Kite Festival, and decided to take a late night drive. We found ourselves on some back roads in the woods, cruising along slowly with no music on, and the windows down. No other cars but us, and suddenly everything just felt wrong. It was dark, but the light seemed different. Somehow. I remember the hair on the back of my neck standing up and just having the thought, this isn't right. We shouldn't be here. I look over and my wife is wide-eyed and clearly feeling the same way. I decided to pull over so I could turn around and head back the way we came. Then we noticed deer were coming out of the woods and standing on the side of the road, and they were just staring at us. Realized the woods are oddly quiet, which just made things even seem more strange. Look up and the branches were full of birds on both sides of the road. There must have been hundreds of them, all perched and alert. My wife said, "We need to go," so we left. Eventually, once we had gone far enough, everything seemed normal again. I'm a pretty big fan of the idea of multiple worlds, dimensions, and honestly wonder if we accidentally drove through a thin spot and briefly wound up somewhere we shouldn't have been. I was working from home, third shift, and about 2 a.m., I hear the stuff on the coat rack in the living room rattle like it does when the door opens. I thought it might be my cat climbing on the coats and went to get her down, and found not a cat climbing things she knows she's not allowed on, but a person I didn't know standing in the middle of the living room. He demanded to know where his stuff was, and after me insisting for about 5 minutes, I had no clue who the fuck he was. He threatened me. My phone was in my room, and I wasn't willing to turn my back on this guy, so I reached for my katana my mother had gotten me for my birthday, sitting against the wall behind me. I got to chase a man out of my apartment with an actual sword. Unfortunately, the whole experience freaked me out so bad that now I keep the sword next to my bed in case of noises in the night. I also locked the door. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. If you don't mind, just like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.